I will not wrap up the whole day because we are coming to a close and you must be very tired. So and maybe you have plans to take trains or planes. I will just have a few personal remarks about the day and a few things. Just in my view, to be reminded, the first one is that this morning Bernard Spitz has launched the Appel du 28 juin, the June 28 appeal about collaborating at the European level for improving the public-private partnerships in terrorism, which is a good idea, I think, because nothing has been done in Europe in the last, let's say, 5 years. The first panel about security, of course, raised a lot of threats, and I will just mention that we had this idea that we are going to go from the real caliphate to the virtual caliphate, which could be worse than the real. We learned also about the resilient citizen, because it's not just about chasing the terrorists, but it's also about preparing the community and the citizens. I was interested by the fact that Jamie, she mentioned Ukraine, because as you know, Ukraine is one of the most targeted countries in terms of cyber attacks, and it's just worth mentioning that yesterday the very large attack, I don't know if it was planned or if it was just a consequence, but it was supposed to target also the IT system of Chernobyl, which is a very bad memory for all Europeans. The second panel was about gaps in insurance, with Guy Carpenter's presentation and then discussion with various people. We heard about Roissy. I think we went very quickly on Roissy because we just mentioned the planes, but it's not only the planes. You know, if there is a big scenario of dirty bomb in Roissy, it's the economy which will be affected in a very, very major way. So this is really an issue. The scenarios that Pascal mentioned in France that have been built up by IFTRIP, I was just mentioned that they are average scenarios. They are not in any way worst-case scenarios, because we didn't want at IFTRIP at the time to worry too much the private sector or the public authorities. But it's just a reminder that we have scenarios. There are lots of scenarios. CCR is doing scenarios, and sometimes the gaps we show in these presentations are just, you know, an illustration. They are not in any way the worst case. The third panel on pools showed the interest of pools to keep the resilience, to be whatever they are, whatever the solution, we try to keep the resilience, to keep the relevance. And of course, there is big issue on the relevance of property pools, because now mostly the persons are targeted. So it's really a long-term issue. The fourth panel on the PPP was the end, but maybe the beginning of the discussion, because it's a discussion we've been having with the Treasury, French Treasury, for a long time, which is public risk management, country risk management, and I was very happy to learn that the consortium is looking forward for the next 50 years. So I'm not going to say the same thing for IFTRIP, but I want to thank you all for your presence and for your cooperation. It was a very lively day, so thank you very much. And we'll continue to cooperate. All the presentations and the brochure will be on the website of IFTRIP tomorrow, so be free to come back to us on any questions you have on the presentations. Thank you very much.